Orchids can present challenges related to watering. The temperature, the humidity, which pot is going to be suitable for our orchid, the type of potting media, all of these play an important role. Orchid care is filled with myths and misconceptions with regarding watering. It's essential to separate fact from fiction. And welcome to the Nature Company. If this is the kind of information that you're interested or need to know, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you get notified of all our upcoming videos so you don't miss out on a thing. What am I doing wrong? Orchids and hydration. The biggest factor in killing orchids. So we'll delve into the basics of it, making sure your orchids get the right hydration that they need to survive. We've decided on our water source, and now there's just one or two other little pitfalls that we've got to avoid falling into. We have to understand which pot is going to be suitable for our orchid, for its hydration needs and for good aeration. And in doing this, we have to choose the right pot for optimal drainage. Orchids should be potted in containers with a really good drainage, and the orchid pots should have lots of drainage holes to prevent water from accumulating around the roots. The choice of pot size depends on your orchid's growth stage. A snug fit is ideal for mature orchids, while younger ones may benefit from slightly smaller pots that will help promote the root development. And also we need to look at the importance of air circulation. Orchid roots require air circulation to avoid that nasty root rot that we are trying to prevent, and then the best idea would be to opt for pots with lots of ventilation holes or even wire mesh. Also consider using clear pots. It allows for easy root monitoring, and it also ensures adequate light to the root system. And with that, proper pot selection promotes healthy root growth and prevents issues related to waterlogging. And as hinted at earlier, the potting media matters. The type of potting media or mix that you use will impact your orchid's water requirements. So it will impact the frequency that you'll need to be watering. Different orchid media such as bark, sphagnum moss or lacquer, which is a lightweight expanded clay aggregate, have varying water retention capabilities. And understanding how your chosen potting media can affect your orchid's hydration needs and adjust your watering according to your media. Also remember that repotting is better for your water management. Repotting your orchids when the potting media starts to break down or the pot becomes too small is essential for maintaining proper water management. When repotting, careful to inspect the roots and remove any damaged or dead portions. Environmental factors will also have a huge effect on your orchid's hydration needs. The temperature, the humidity, all of these play an important role. Orchids generally require high humidity levels, and if you live in a dry climate, consider using humidity trays, misting or a humidifier to create the optimal environment. Temperature affects the rate of evaporation and can impact how quickly your orchid dries out between waterings. Be mindful of this when adjusting your watering schedule. Also, seasonal adjustments for orchid care. Orchids may have different hydration needs during various seasons. For example, they often require more water during active growing seasons than in a dormant period. So, adapting your orchid care routine to the seasonal changes ensures that your orchids receive the right amount of water. Watering challenges and solutions. Orchids can present challenges related to watering, and it's crucial to know how to overcome them. So now creating a good water routine is essential for good orchid care. And so it comes to dealing with salt buildups. Over time, mineral salts can accumulate in the potting media, which can potentially be harmful to your orchids. Regularly flush the potting media with clear water to prevent the salt buildup. Also, preventing and treating root rot. Root rot can occur when orchids are overwatered or sit in standing water. To prevent it, ensure proper drainage and avoid waterlogging conditions and trim away any affected roots. Understanding the common watering challenges and their solutions will help you maintain healthy orchids. And of course, your orchid watering tools. Using the right tool can simplify the orchid watering process. So the essential for orchid care enthusiasts are tools like a watering can with a long narrow water spout, or a syringe if you really need that precise watering, the hygrometer to measure humidity, and a moisture meter to assess the potting media's dryness are valuable orchid enthusiasts' tools. The right tools on hand make it easier to care for your orchid effectively. And each species or hybrid has adapted to thrive in its natural environment. Understanding your orchid's natural habitat will help you understand its watering requirements and for you to be able to reproduce a good care routine to make sure your orchids are always at their best. The role of the roots in the water uptake also needs to be understood for you to be able to develop a proper watering regime. It's essential to inspect the roots. Healthy roots are typically plump and have a green end. Dehydrated roots can appear grey or brown and all shriveled. So monitoring your orchid's root health is crucial for gauging when it needs watering. We need to also understand what water to give them. Be careful with tap water unless you can filter it to remove any of those excess minerals. Rainwater collected properly is of course your best bet for watering orchids. Distilled water has an extremely low mineral content, which is not particularly recommended for orchids. Make sure you're not watering your orchid with cold water. Allow it to settle until it gets to about room temperature, and then it's time to water. Orchids should be watered when their potting media approaches dryness, before it gets completely dry. Water your orchids thoroughly and ensure the water reaches the roots. Allow the pot to drain completely. Avoid letting your orchids stand in the water, as this can lead to root rot. And when it comes to feeding, orchids generally only have 2 seasons, the growing season and the flowering season. We give a balanced fertilizer right through the year, but we add extra nitrogen in during the growing seasons. It's probably best to feed almost every week. If we're using organic fertilizer, we go for a half strength solution. Chemical fertilizer, we generally go for about a quarter strength solution, and we'll feed them once a week with the watering. With regards to the watering techniques, there are various watering techniques that you should consider for your orchid. Bottom watering involves placing up the pot in a tray of water, allowing the roots to soak up the moisture from the bottom. Top watering, as it says, involves pouring water directly into the potting media. This is effective for thorough hydrating of the roots. It's essential to separate fact from fiction regarding watering. And I hope with this video, I've been able to help you decide just that for yourself. If you have found any of this content helpful in any way, please hit that like button. Subscribe down below and hit that notification bell, bing bong, to be notified of all our upcoming videos.